Hello again, welcome back to Illegally Cited. This is BGFH and I'm back for another accessible iOS app video. And the app I want to show you guys today is the newly released, highly anticipated KNFB Reader app. And for those unfamiliar, this app is basically, I've covered apps like Text Grabber on the channel before. This is an app that will scan and it'll basically take a picture of and then read aloud a print document. So a piece of paper, business card, mail, a page of a book, whatever, the back of a box maybe, any kind of thing with typed text like that. So kind of a portable version of your Kurzweil OpenBook or DocuScan Plus sort of thing. Let's get our AirPlay going here. I'm going to switch to my AirPlay thing here and hopefully, come on, there you go. Okay, and we have our home screen now. And you know, I've tried recording this a couple of times already and I've had some issues with my recording software, so I am going to start VoiceOver.
VoiceOver on.
And I'm going to open up the KNFB Reader app from my app switcher.
Running. KNFB Reader. Running.
Okay. I'll crank up the volume a little bit more for you guys. Okay. Now, I was going to weird. Okay. I was going to give you a tour of the interface first, but I think we're going to dive into, I want to show you how I take a picture first. Maybe we'll scan a couple of documents, and then I will walk you through the interface itself, because when I've been recording, unfortunately, I've had some issues, and so I want to get this part of the video out of the way first. So, on the main part of the screen, I have most of my screen is taken up by my little viewfinder here. And on the left side, I have my take picture. My right half, I have my field of view report. And I am going to tap the right side of the screen to get a field of view report.
Field of view report button. Report camera position relative to the document.
Now this reports camera position relative to the document, as it says. And what this does is it'll tell me how many edges of the page are visible, you know, top, bottom, left, right, if I'm tilted at all, that kind of thing. And so I laid my phone flat in the middle of my paper. I'm going to lift my phone about, I don't know, 8-10 inches off the paper. Try to keep it as level as possible.
Right and left top edges are visible, rotated 2 degrees counterclockwise.
That's pretty good. I'm going to take a picture.
May 8th, 2013. Dear Residents, we'd like to thank you for your Cooper recently conducted inside your app partner, Cross. Please do not remove or tamper with TC as %, your kitchen ranged hood. There is a fine of 260.0 FW. Been removed or tampered with. Plus N. What if stove 2 fires to tie out and vice?
Okay. That one, it didn't do as well as I tried before. Let me go back. Let me try it one more time here. Trying to... Always when you're recording, you get the less than desired image here. I'm going to do a field of view report again.
Right left edges are visible, rotated 2 degrees counterclockwise.
Okay, we want
right rotated 2 degrees counterclockwise.
Come on.
Right left top edges are visible, rotated 2 degrees counterclockwise.
Let's see how it does this
May
time.
8th, 2013. Dear residents, we'd like to thank you for your cooperation in assisting us with the preventive maintenance recently conducted inside your apartment.
There we go.
All apartments are now completed. Please do not remove or tamper with the fire stop canisters that were installed underneath your kitchen ranged hood. There is a fine of $200 for replacement if we find they have been removed or tampered with. 0. What if stovetop fire stun activates while I'm cooking? A. You do not have to worry about false activation from normal cooking heat or smoke. Stovetop.
All right, so I paused it there. Now you'll notice that the text in the highlight looks a little bit bad. You can't even really see it, actually. When I was playing with the app earlier, I changed my foreground and background color, and I forgot to check my text highlight color. So I have a yellow highlight but the text in it is almost impossible to read at this point. So that's something, when I go and show you the settings area, that's something I can change, and then that will be fixed for later. But to explain what I was doing, I was holding the, like I said, I put the phone in the middle of the paper, lifted it up about 8-10 inches. I hit the field of view button. It gave me a status of being, left and right edges were visible. Then it was no edges were visible. I did it a couple times, lifting and repositioning my camera a little bit each time until I heard left, right, and top edges were visible. That way, I would be able to get most of the document. And I happen to know this document I've actually looked at before because I wanted to avoid putting, confidential information on there. This is just a really old residence letter that I had sitting around that I can probably throw away now because it's really old. So this one I have read. However, I have 2 other documents here that I have not read before, and we are going to see how it does. I'm going to set my little paper down here. And before I go back and scan another picture, or before I scan another document, let me show you what this interface looks like really quick. I'm going to start at the top left.
Back button.
I have a back button. That'll take me back to my camera.
Settings button.
Settings, pretty self-explanatory there.
Page 1 of 1.
Page 1 of 1. So if I was scanning a multi-page document, it'll tell me that.
View image associated with document. Button.
That is my email sound, and I left that on because I wanted to have the camera snap sounds. And unfortunately, if I get email, you'll hear that too.
Page 1 of 1. View image associated with document. Button.
View image associated with document. So maybe there was a picture as well as some text. I could go back and look at that picture and look at the actual image that I had taken a picture of.
Add page to document. Button.
Add page to document. So if I'm flipping a page and I want to keep all these kind of things in one document, I can, which is, I'm glad this app has that feature. You cannot do that as far as I remember in Text Grabber at this point.
Change text recognition. Button.
Change text recognition. So I get some options there to fine tune that a little bit.
Save document. Button.
Save document, and this will save a copy of it in its own format, and then later on, if I want to, I have the option of exporting it, and I can choose to export to an HTML format if I want to keep a lot of the formatting, or if I'm just really concerned about the text itself, I can dump it out as a text file, plain text file.
May 8th, 2013.
Okay, so now I'm to the body of the document. Below the document, I have multimedia controls. Come on.
Previous page. Button.
So I have previous page,
Previous sentence.
previous sentence,
Play. Button.
play,
Next sentence. Button.
next sentence,
Next page.
next
Button.
page. There you go. And then below that we have
Document language. Button.
document language.
Select document language. Speed. Button. Adjust speaking rate of text to speech voice.
So there's my speed option, so I can adjust how quickly the text-to-speech voice works. And not only can I
We'd like to thank you for your cooperation and
read with the built-in voice for KNFB Reader, I can play it like a media file, and it does support background play. There's an option in there, there's a setting in there where I can have background playback. But I can also navigate this document with VoiceOver, so I can use all my rotor controls. I can read, fine-tune, read by word, or spell out a word by character. If I haven't played too much with scanning a whole bunch of advanced documents, so I'm curious if it will actually, recognize larger, bolder text as headings, and maybe you're able to navigate that way too. I don't for sure know that yet, but potentially that could be there, or that's something they could pretty easily probably add. So let's go back to our camera.
back button.
We are going to take one more picture.
Take picture. Button.
like I said, this is something I have not seen before. All I know is that it's glossy. It's a little bit smaller than a letter.
Field of view report. Button.
I'm going to lift it up.
Camera position relative to the document. Field of view report.
Right top edges are visible rotated 3 degrees counterclockwise.
Field of view report. Field of view report.
Right top edges are visible rotated 2 degrees
Right
counterclockwise.
top.
Field of view report. Field of view report.
Right left top edges are visible rotated 1 degrees counterclockwise.
Field of view report. Button. Field of view report.
Right left top edges are visible rotated 0 degrees clockwise.
So I'm not getting the bottom in there yet.
Field of view report.
Right left top edges are visible rotated 0 degrees
Come on.
clockwise.
Field of view report. Field of view report.
Right bottom left edges are visible rotated 0 degrees
Right
clockwise.
bottom left. Okay, so this one it's only, unless I lift it up a little higher.
Field of view report. Field of view report.
Right bottom left edges are visible rotated
Right
0 degrees
bottom
clockwise.
left.
Field of view report. Button. Field of view report.
Right bottom left edges are visible rotated 0 degrees
Come on.
clockwise.
Field of view report.
Right left top edges are visible rotated 0
Now
degrees
let's just
clockwise.
do that for now.
Button. Take picture.
We're just doing a demo here, so.
Pause. Button.
Didn't really like that document. Oh, here we go.
T2. Full stop. E recently completed a network upgrade to an all-digital 4:I channels in your level of service, the limited basic tier. As are in this service tier will be encrypted shortly and will no longer be have digital equipment. The equipment in this self-installation kit will ensure that you have AC and crisp digital picture and sound. It's easy to connect this device, TV and activate. Just follow the enclosed step-by-step instructions. If you have questions, please call 1.
Play.
Okay, I do know what this is now. That was not the best capture. Let me try it one more time. And like I said, I'm really new to this myself, just learning how this app processes things differently than Text Grabber. I am just going to use my own judgment here and ignore the field of view report and see if I can get a halfway good picture of it on my own.
Capture image of the take picture.
Here's where I think I might want to take a picture, and I could be completely
Self-installation
wrong.
kit. The digital adapter in this kit will enable you to access the TV channels that are included with your XRF device. Dear valued customer, we have recently completed a network upgrade to an all-digital format, including those channels in your level of service, the limited basic tier. As a result, the channels in this service tier will be encrypted shortly and will no longer be available without digital equipment. The equipment in this self-installation
Play.
There you go. So that turned out way better. And, you know, sometimes, like I said, the field of view report is a great thing to have, but once you get used to it and, you know, you kind of get familiar with, oh, this is how far I might want to hold from a regular piece of paper. This is how far I might want to hold it if I'm scanning something a little smaller. And if you have used the KNFB Reader in other forms before, or you've used other iOS apps like Text Grabber before, you may be able to just hop right in, because that's really what I did. I just kind of used the skills that I acquired learning how to use Text Grabber, and it worked great. So yeah, I had no idea what this document was, but now I do. It is an old form. They sent me this digital cable box thingy that they required me to have for my cable. And yeah, I know that's garbage now too. So yay, because that's already taken care of. I took care of that. So yeah, I've scanned something a little bit, you know, a regular size letter. I've scanned something a little bit smaller and glossy. And I've tried it with several types of documents at work, or a few types, and it's generally done pretty well. I've tried it with and without the field of view report, and I have to say that sometimes I'm right on with the field of view report, and sometimes I find myself more often than not just instinctually just doing what I've been doing with Text Grabber, and it's generally worked pretty well. But, you know, like I said, if you're not used to it and you need a little bit more guidance and stuff like that, the KNFB Reader definitely has that field of view feature that works pretty well. So I am in the document here. I am going to go to the upper right,
Save document. Button.
and I'm going to go to Save Document.
Save file. Choose file name.
Gives me a chance to give it a name, and
09/18/2014 5/9. Text field.
just because I don't really feel like editing it right now, I'm just going to go, sure.
Save.
Sure, why not? because after this video, it's going to be garbage anyway. I'm going to delete it anyway. I might even delete it during this video. So we're done here. I'm going to go back. And then I am going to go to the, now I will show you, now that I've made sure that the camera part has worked, I am going to show you through the interface of the main screen. I should have done this first, but like I said, I was having some initial recording problems, so I really wanted to get the camera part of this video done first before any unforeseen crashes. So, gonna start at the top left again.
File Explorer button.
File Explorer, that's where we're gonna go here very shortly. That's where all of our saved stuff is.
Settings button.
Settings, pretty self-explanatory.
Camera flash is automatic.
Camera flash is automatic. I can
Tap to
turn it
change camera flash mode.
I can turn it to on, off, or automatic. And there are reasons for each one of those settings. I have used all three so far. I typically leave it to automatic and let it handle it itself. And if it doesn't work, depending on the material, like if I know I'm in a low lit area, I will turn the flash on. Or if I will purposely turn the flash off most, if not all of the time, if I am trying to capture something on a computer screen or monitor, let's say. You know, if your speech stops and you just want to see what is actually going on my monitor. It does actually work for that. And I'll try to remember to demonstrate that to you before the end of this video as well. So we have that, the flash.
Tilt guidance. Switch button. Off.
Tilt guidance, this is kind of neat. What it allows you to do is, the more tilted your device is, your phone will actually vibrate more because it uses the sensors to determine how tilted your device is. And this is handy, you know, like I said, you have to balance the near versus distance when you're to get a good picture, but you also want to make sure that you don't have your iPhone tilted too far. Otherwise, that will definitely impact the quality of scan you're going to get.
Take picture button.
So there's your left quadrant of your viewfinder, taking a picture.
Field of view report.
Field of view report, that again, that's what we just did as well, to kind of get a feel of how we are oriented to our document.
Batch mode is off button.
Batch mode, this will let you, I haven't really played with this just yet, but it'll let you, you know, when I showed you the actual document interface, we had the option to add an additional page. And this batch document, I believe, will just let us capture multiple pages at once, and then just, it'll append each page to the same document, and then we can save it later. So that's pretty cool.
OCR language button.
OCR language, multiple languages are supported. I don't know any other languages, so we're definitely going to stick to English here.
Document type button.
Document type, if I double tap that, it's going to give me single or multi-page or single or multi-column format for our document, and I just left it on multi-column for now.
Select profile button.
Select profile, I really haven't played with this much either, but basically you can set your settings up the way you want, and then let's say that, you know, you have two pretty different environments for home and work. Maybe you maybe your office is kind of dark, or, you know, your home is more, well, it's better lit, or maybe you have a separate mode, you know, you change some settings for scanning a computer screen, and you just want to get to that quickly instead of changing a bunch of settings. You can go ahead and do that. So that is our main screen. Let's hop back up to, let's go into our settings really quick, and I'll show you what is in there. So we have three categories across the bottom, three categories of settings, which are
Selected. General. Tab.
General.
1 of 3. Text. Tab.
Text.
3. About. Tab.
And
3 of
About.
3.
And About is where you can download a quick start guide, a manual, get the product information, and you can leave feedback. There's a link to do that. But we're going to go back up to our first screen here.
Back button.
We have our back button.
Settings. Heading. Flashlight is always on. Switch button. Off.
Flashlight is always on. I have that turned off. That's pretty self-explanatory.
Automatically start reading. Switch button. On.
that is on. I've debated actually turning that off, just because sometimes I just want to have it scanned and then I'll read it when I want to. But most of the time I think people would want it on. So when you scan a document, it recognizes it, then it'll just read automatically.
Allow reading in background. Switch button. On.
There's that allow reading in background. So if you're using the kind of play, pause, multimedia controls, you can scan your document, save it, and then just read it back later. And you can lock your screen, saving battery life, and so forth.
Allow word highlighting. Switch button. Off. Double tap.
Allow word highlighting. In addition to the kind of sentence or paragraph that it highlights right now, you can turn on the word highlighting, which I don't have on right now.
Field of view landscape mode. Switch button. On.
Field of view landscape mode. I did turn this on. This is off by default, I believe. I turned it on because I have widescreen monitors and I was playing with the app trying to see if I could scan a screen and get an actual recognizable image out of it. And I figured that, I'm thinking landscape camera mode might be more applicable there. So, seemed to work out okay.
Selected. General.
Now
Tab.
we're back to general.
Text. Tab.
So let's fix our little text problem that we had, shall we? We have,
Text settings. Heading.
so we have text,
Font type. Arial.
font type Arial. That's a pretty common one that is easy for low vision users to read.
Font size. 28.
28, I cranked that all the way up.
Text color. White.
Text color white,
Text background color. Black.
that's fine.
Line distance. Default.
Okay, I'm not sure what.
Highlight settings. Heading.
Highlight settings.
Highlight text color. Blue.
Let's change that to,
Highlight text color. Black. Dark gray.
let's try dark gray.
Font settings. Highlight text color. Dark gray. Highlight general. Tab.
I'll quit it.
Highlight text color. Dark gray. Highlight background color. Yellow.
So now we'll have yellow, but we'll have dark gray instead of this really light blue. So when you see the little sentence that it's reading that's highlighted, it should no longer be unintelligible. It should actually be readable now.
General. Tab.
So we've got our text option saved, and there's not really worth going into about. I kind of told you what was in there. But let's go back.
Take picture.
And
File Explorer.
let's go into our File Explorer here.
Back button.
Now, here is where you have all of your saved and imported documents. Again, on the bottom of the screen, we have 3 tabs, and they are
Selected. Scanned files. Tab.
Scanned Files,
PDF files. Tab.
PDF
3.
Files,
Image files. Tab.
Image
3.
Files. So this is pretty cool. So all these files here are ones that I have scanned and saved so far. And I can open one of these up at any time, and it'll just, boom, it'll just read them. The middle one is for PDF files. So, just like when you're using Kurzweil or OpenBook or DocuScan Plus, you often get these files that people create. They're so wonderful, with these. They're PDF files, but all they are is images. People take a picture of a document and slap it into a PDF file. These cannot be read by VoiceOver, System Access, JAWS, NVDA, any other screen reader. But with apps like Kurzweil, KNFB Reader, or DocuScan, whatever, you can extract the text out of them and make them readable. And I will try to show you that feature as well.
PDF files. Image files. Tab.
Image files, I haven't tried this, but it's along the same lines of a PDF file where if somebody sends you, a lot of times you'll get like an email. I've gotten a few of these where somebody will send a joke, but it's like it's a scanned picture. It's a graphic of the written joke. So I could have that in my email and export that image into the KNFB Reader app, and it would, just like for PDF files, it would read. So I have, we're still in our scanned files here. We have
Name 0918 2 2014. 5. 9.
So there's the one that I
Contains
just
one page.
scanned. Let's go
Created.
back into
09.
that.
8. Pause.
Self-installation kit. The digital adapter in this kit will enable you to access the TV channels that are included with your XRF device. Dear valued customer, we have recently completed a network upgrade to an
still
all-digital
doesn't-
format, including those channels in your...
Play.
That still doesn't look good. That highlight does not look good, does it?
Settings.
Let me go back. I just want to see if I can
Text.
fix this
Tab.
issue.
Selected. Text. Tab. 2 of 3. Highlight background color. Yellow. Highlight text color. Dark gray.
Let's do black.
Highlight black.
I just want to see if I can get it
Text
to
settings. Back button. Back button. Back button. Play.
play.
We have recently completed a network upgrade to an all-digital format, including those channels in your level of service, the limited basic tier. As a result, the channels in this service tier will be encrypted shortly and will no longer be...
Play.
I don't know. Maybe, I don't know if that's a bug or if it's just not showing up well, but the highlight color visual, I mean, the regular text looks fine. So if you're reading it with voiceover or just looking at it, it looks fine. But the highlighted color, even though I've chosen like yellow and black, I'm going to have to experiment with that highlighter thing because that contrast is not good. There's no way I can read that. And I'm sure most other people won't be able to either. Especially the market that this is intended towards. So I'm going to have to play with that a little bit more. I'm not exactly sure why the contrast for that highlight isn't good, but you can play with it, you can change it, and so I will figure out a good combination eventually. So we've reread the document that we just scanned, my little cable TV digital information thingy. And I've got a whole bunch of them here. Any of these I could call up and read.
PDF files.
PDF files.
Back button.
I have one file in here.
Educating the adult educator.
This is a file I just grabbed that I had from one of my school folders back in the day. Inaccessible PDF file. I don't want to scan that because it's kind of long. It's 26 pages. And it doesn't take too horribly long, but long enough. Instead, I'm going to attempt to show you.
Doc. Safari. Mail.
I'm going to attempt to show you how to
Here are page 4 of 4.
import a PDF file into the app and perform some recognition. So I have a mail message open that I sent myself earlier with a few PDF files in it, and I want the short one,
Message. Airband underscore manual PDF. Button.
Airband Manual PDF.
Airband underscore
This
manual
is the
underscore
manual
PDF.
for
Instruction manual.
my Airband, the Go Groove Airband headset that I reviewed early on in the channel. Still love that headset, by the way. It works fantastic even after a couple of years of use. The battery and headset is still going strong. So we are going to, in our mail app,
Share.
yeah, top right of the thing, there's a share button.
Alert. AirDrop recipient placeholder. Image.
Okay, I don't want AirDrop. We're going to flick to the right.
AirDrop. Message. Button. Mail. Button. Open in iBooks. Button.
Nope.
Open in QuickOffice.
Nope.
Button. Open in OneDrive.
Nope.
Button. Open in Nook. Button.
Nope.
Open in KNFB Reader.
There we go. KNFB Reader.
KNFB Reader.
Okay, we're
Edit.
back.
Button.
Now,
Selected. PDF files.
we're in our
Tab.
PDF files,
2
and
of
now
3.
you notice we have another
Name. Educating the adult. Name. Airband underscore manual. Contains
Airband.
12 pages.
I'm
Important.
okay. Contains
09,
12
18,
pages.
2014. 17. 23.
Hush. Now I'm going to double tap that.
Extracting images.
Custom action. Recognize imported PDF. Back button.
Recognize. And so now it's done the initial kind of setup for it, and I'm given the option to
Recognize PDF.
recognize the PDF, which is a big old button in the middle of the screen, or in the bottom in the bottom of the screen I have
OCR language.
OCR language
Document type. Button.
and document type, so I can tell it, hey, is this a multi-column or a single column document? We're just going to leave it at the default here.
Recognize PDF.
Recognize
Analyzing
PDF.
12 pages. Please wait.
And of
1
course,
done. 2 done. 3 done.
the app-specific
done.
voice here works
5
via
done.
my AirPlay, so that's why you're
6
hearing
done.
that directly
7 done.
versus voiceover.
8 done. 9 done. 10 done. 11 done. Last page done.
KNFB Reader. Back button.
Accessory POW and free product registration. Protect your investment and take advantage of this free product warranty. You must register within 30 days of purchase to
I'm gonna
receive
go to the
full warranty
next
coverage and
page,
access to special offers.
'cause I
www.
don't care about that.
Thank you for purchasing the Go Groove Airband wireless Bluetooth stereo headset. The wireless Bluetooth capability enables you to listen to music anytime without getting tangled up in the wires of a regular headset. The lightweight, flexible design and pivoting ear cushions allow for optimum comfort so you can enjoy your favorite music at home or on the go. With no wires to hold you back, where would...
And boom, we have our manual. So let's say I could read this 12-page manual that I have, but, you know, I don't want to read that right now. Maybe I want to refer back to it later. So you know what? We're going to save this bad boy too. And I am going to... I'm going to change clear text. I'm going to call it AIR Airband.
Save button.
Save.
Saved. Quick start. Make sure the airband is charged.
Okay, now we're going to go back. We are going to go back to our File Explorer.
Back button.
Now I should have
Name Airband. Contains
Airband. All right. So now this is in our scanned documents. It's no longer under PDF because I've taken that PDF and saved it from a scan. So it is now under... The original PDF is still there, which I now can delete, but it's also now in accessible form under my scanned tab. I'm going to go... let's see. Now, I could double tap on it and read it, but I also want to show you really quick. This is the one thing I actually had to look up in the little guide because it wasn't immediately obvious. I'm like, okay, it's great that I scanned something, but how do I export it? You know, maybe I don't want to keep it in this app. Maybe I want to email it back to myself or dump it out to Pages and edit it, or read it in VoiceStream with my cool voices that I have installed there. And you can do those things.
Edit button.
So up in the upper right hand corner on this screen we have an edit button, which will be pretty familiar to a lot of iOS interfaces there. And I am going to
Name Airband. Contains 12 pages.
Airband.
Delete name.
I don't want to delete it, but if I double tap,
Select action.
Select action, and now I got a little switcher here. I can
Capital S.
Oops.
Rename button.
I can rename it.
Delete button.
Delete it.
Export to button.
Export to. Yay, that's what we want.
Export to.
All right. So now what do we got? We got another screen up here. Export to. I'll flick to the right.
KNFB file button.
A KNFB file. I don't want that.
Plain text file. TXT.
I don't want a plain text file either because I want to keep some formatting.
Formatted text file. HTML. Button.
Formatted text file. HTML. That's what we're going to choose. I kind of wish that it had rich text file at the very least. You know, you don't have page breaks then, but at least you do have some more formatting, and it would be editable. You know, so if I wanted to dump something into Pages, I'm hoping maybe that's something that the developers can add in a future update. I could see a feature like that coming. So here's hoping, and I will, you know, submit some feedback to them as well. Let's do HTML.
AirDrop recipient placeholder.
And I don't want to airdrop.
Open in Pages.
Let's open it in...
Open in VoiceStream. Open in VoiceStream.
Yeah, let's open it in VoiceStream, shall we?
Formatted text file. HTML. Button.
Okay, are you going to open VoiceStream, or are you going to just dump it in there?
Mail.
Let's go into Books.
Opening Books folder. VoiceStream.
VoiceStream.
Double tapped.
I haven't done this so much, have
VoiceStream.
I?
Folders. DND5E Player's Hand. The end of apps. DND5E Player's Handbook. BN search. Search.
Okay, so that has not been added yet. Let's try that one more time.
App switch. KNFB Reader.
Let's go back to KNFB.
Formatted text file. HTML. Button.
Oh, yeah, you know what? I wonder... Well, yeah, VoiceStream should open an HTML file. I don't know why it wouldn't. Because it has a web browser in it, so there's no reason it shouldn't. Let's try HTML file again.
AirDrop recipient. Open in VoiceStream. Button. Formatted text file. HTML. Button.
Okay, it's not shoving it over there. Let's try a
Plain
text.
file. TXT. Alert.
Just to
AirDrop
see.
recipient placeholder. Open in VoiceStream.
Open in
Button.
VoiceStream.
Plain text file. TXT. Button.
Okay. Either my phone is being stupid, which is entirely possible, or The export feature is kind of broken at this moment, maybe. That could be a potential bug that I will have to report. I will play with this feature a little bit more, and if I can't get it to work, I will definitely submit that bug feedback. And but essentially that is how it's supposed to work, and it's really pretty straightforward, really pretty easy. So, once they get that working, or once my phone decides to behave itself, whichever happens first, I think that'll be a very handy thing. So, I get maybe an inaccessible PDF emailed to me during a meeting. I go, oh, well, I can't read this. Let's dump it out to let's dump it out to KNFB Reader. I will scan the PDF file, make it accessible, and then dump it back out into Pages, let's say. Well, yeah, let's do...
Formatted text file.
Fine,
HTML,
let's choose HTML again.
Open in Pages.
Let's open it in Pages then.
Formatted text file. HTML button.
Huh. It's not dumping it out to Pages either, so I'm wondering if their export feature is broken, maybe? And if I'm doing something really stupid wrong, I apologize, but it seems pretty straightforward. I would think that I would be doing it correctly. Again, I will play with this a little bit more, and if it doesn't work, I will definitely let them know, but that is how that is supposed to work. So that pretty much is the KNFB Reader app. It is very powerful, I must say. I'm quite impressed with its features. I like that I can scan in something from a piece of paper or an object. I can scan from an inaccessible PDF file. I can scan from a JPEG or GIF image. And I can export, in theory, I can export out to other files should I want to give it to somebody else, or manipulate it in another way, edit it, or whatever. I also like the fact that you can scan and add multiple pages to one document. Like in VoiceStream, I keep saying VoiceStream, like in TextGrabber, you scan a document and that's what you get. Each page, each picture is its own document. So I do kind of wish, I do like the fact that you're able to do that. That's very, very handy. One thing that I do kind of wish for, although it's probably not that big a deal, because if I'm going to manipulate it, or if I'm going to really be using it in any significant way, I'm probably going to be exporting it to another app like Pages or VoiceStream Reader. I was thinking that it would be nice to have a little bit more organization instead of just like scanned and pictures and PDF files. Have little folders. But now that I think about it, it's not, I don't think, too big a deal, because, assuming I can get the export feature to work, I'm probably going to want to read and manipulate them elsewhere anyway. So, that could be a potential feature that may or may not be helpful, I guess. Depends how much people would want it in there. I could go either way, I think. The one thing I would like to see them add, more export features. Maybe export to Word, DOC, or DOCX. Rich text file at least, to preserve formatting that you can actually edit. I mean, HTML is fine if you want to read, but let's say, again, you're in class or you're in a meeting and it's something that you not only have to read, but it's something that they want you to, it's a form or questionnaire or something that you want to fill out. I would like to be able to not just text file, but I'd like to have a little bit more professionally formatted document that I could dump into Pages, via rich text or Word format, so that I could edit it and then send it to the instructor or send it to the head of the meeting, whatever, and not have it look like complete garbage, you know, because you really don't have any formatting in a plain text file. So yeah, that is the KNFB Reader app. I've explored most of its general features. I really haven't played with the profile or the batch scan yet, but other than that, all of its core functions I've pretty much played with, and I gotta say, like I said, I'm pretty well impressed. I really like Text Grabber, especially for the price. If all you want to do is just, you know, quick scan something, you know, a piece of paper, it's great for that. But if you need a little bit more guidance, or you want a little bit more flexibility, you want to be able to scan those PDF files that are inaccessible, and you don't want to have your computer with you all the time and open up your, open up your scanner to read your paper documents, or, you know, you have your computer open to have a PDF file, you're reading and taking notes on your phone and maybe a Bluetooth keyboard anyway. Yeah, that could be, you know, this app could be very useful to you. It just gives you a lot more flexibility and a lot more things to do. Again, the app is KNFB Reader. It is in the App Store now, came out along with iOS 8, which I'm actually using right now to record this. So yeah, so far it's behaved pretty well. The other thing I will say is that the app is available now, and it is $99. This was kind of a controversial point, especially prior to the release. I'm not sure. I'm sure it will continue to be somewhat controversial for a little while. You know, I've seen a lot on Twitter already, people who have bought it and people who are actually raving. The people who bought it really seem to be raving about how good it is. So yeah, I mean, the people who actually purchased it seem quite satisfied with it. And, you know, you really have to weigh, you know, how much are you going to use this type of app? I mean, maybe, okay, yeah, it's a little bit expensive. It definitely is expensive compared to a lot of other apps people are used to paying or not paying for. But when you look at it two different ways, you know, you look at it like, if you're going to be scanning things a lot, you know, both electronic and paper, this may be it really may be worth it for you to have something like this in that much of a portable form. And it's, think back to the original KNFB Reader and the KNFB Reader Mobile, when they were on a PDA and a smartphone respectively. They were, you know, I don't even remember how much the first one was. I think it was over $2,000. And the KNFB Reader Mobile, which you could use like on a Nokia Symbian platform, like a N82, N86, those were like $1,600. So $1,600 versus $100, plus your iPhone that you use for all kinds of other stuff anyway. Not that bad a deal when you really look at it. You know, again, you know, you're taking so many of these proprietary and really expensive devices. Your book reader, your CCTV, your music player, your OCR thing now. You have all these tools in your phone, and when I get it, you know, when you get a new phone, when I get my new phone tomorrow, I don't have to worry about buying it again. I just go re-download the apps and boom, I'm there. Really great. So that's the other thing I want to mention before I do wrap up this video is I am doing all of this on my iPhone 5 still. I thought about waiting until I get the iPhone 6 Plus, which, like I said, thankfully I should be hopefully getting tomorrow. Yay, pretty excited to check that out. But I wanted to show this to you first on the iPhone 5 because, you know, I wanted to get the video out pretty quickly if I could, and also I wanted to show you that, you know, I don't know what kind of information is all out there or what people have heard, but you don't have to have just an iPhone 6 or a 6 Plus or even a 5S for that matter. You know, I've scanned several documents with the camera. I've scanned a computer screen with the camera. And all of that works pretty well. Yeah, I showed you a couple scans that I did that weren't very good, but that was kind of, you know, that was more my fault than it was the actual camera. When I did it more intuitively, or it kind of just went on instinct, worked great. So even on a 5 camera, you're going to do okay. I probably wouldn't go any older than that. I wouldn't go with the 4S. you might get okay results, but I wouldn't push it. And of course, the processing for recognition is generally going to be even slower as well. So I would say don't go any further back than the iPhone 5. Preferably, you want to, obviously, the better phone you can have, the better. The 5S, the 6 Plus, whatever, you're going to get probably even faster, better results. But for the 5, not bad. I'm pretty impressed with it so far. So, yeah, that is the KNFB Reader app, and available now for $99 in the US App Store. And hope you guys enjoyed it. And until next time, I will talk to you guys again later.